All right, guys, I'm going to explain to you sit-ups and why we don't do sit-ups and why I never do sit-ups anymore. I used to, just, but as you learn more, you change based on new information. So let's go over, here's what your abs are designed to do. So here's your spine. So this is like you sitting on the chair looking forward. Your ab muscles are designed to keep your spine nice and straight and stable. That's what they're meant for. A good analogy I like is it's like a cell tower, has the guide wires holding the tower nice and straight. That's what your ab muscles are designed to do. All right, so what your ab muscles aren't designed to do is to just do this, right? So never, when I'm in life, I want a nice, strong, stable torso holding me up. I'm never just going through the day doing this kind of stuff, all right? So what happens, and the reason why it's bad for you, is you have 24, 26 bones in your back, depending on how you want to count them. And between each bone, you have a disc. Can you zoom in on that? And so what happens, so here's you lying on your back, right? Every time you flex your spine forward, you pinch the front of that disc. Pinch, pinch, pinch. So a good thing you do is just, you got a bone and a bone with your hands, and go like that. You can feel it pinching. That's just, every time you do a sit-up or a crunchie, it's just repetitive damage to the front of the disc. And then what happens is, people come to my office or come in like, oh, all I did was, I pick up a toothbrush or I just sneezed and my back went out. Well, it wasn't the toothbrush or it wasn't the sneeze. It was improper repetitive motions over and over and over, too much flexing the spine, and then it was just the final straw, all right? Another problem I see, one of the worst exercises I see, and I see it all too often, is a Russian twist. So what happens is a person's in a half sit-up position, pinching the front of their disc, and then they're twisting back and forth. Twist, twist, twist. And, emergency. And anyhow, so that twisting, so imagine, if you pinch and then you twist, 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 that's a recipe for disaster, right? So the thing is, sit-ups will make your stomach stronger, but at a price. And, if you read the textbooks of Dr. McGill, he's the leading low back expert on the planet. So if you disagree with me, that's fine. But I can back it up with a lot of good research. All he does is study ab exercises and low back health and how to keep your low back healthy. So I do, and I model and I teach exactly what he does because it works so well. So don't do sit-ups, don't do crunchies, don't do any bent twisting. I mean, think about it. If you watch this, a Russian twist, all that is like a shoveling motion. And I can't tell you how many people get hurt shoveling or raking where they're bent and twisting their spine. Very, very unhealthy. Another thing you should never ever do, I don't care if it's, Mr. Pilates, Master Guru, whatever that means, you should always, always, always maintain the little curve in your low back. It's called your lumbar curve. And I'm sure you've heard of lumbar supports in chairs. The reason why they have those is to support this curve. Now, some people will tell you to press your spine to the ground for exercises. So when you press your spine to the ground, you're pinching that disc and you're compromising your low back health. If anything, you should put your hand right there and always support that curve. And again, this isn't my opinion. This is coming from the best low back expert on the planet, all right? So always, always maintain this curve. Or, when we're doing kettlebell swings, right? A kettlebell swing, it's all coming from your hips. Your back stays perfectly neutral, right? Always maintain this curve in your low back, and all the motion's coming from your hips, okay? Or a straight leg deadlift, right? Keep this curve, push your butt back, 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 and bring it up, right? Keep that little curve. As soon as you roll your back forward, you're pinching this disc, and that's where you get damaged. So whenever someone says keep your back straight, they don't mean to try and straighten it. They mean to keep it neutral, so you have this little curve in your low back. Think about this. You should have a little curve in your low back. You should have a little curve in your neck, right? Telling you to press your spine to the ground would be the same as telling you to do this with your head during push-ups, right? You always want to keep your head neutral, keep that curve. So, how do you make your stomach stronger without hurting your back? Great, great exercises are planks. So you're holding perfectly straight, and gravity wants to pull you down, so your muscles are flexing and stabilizing to keep you straight. Side planks are the same. The big thing is you don't want to have your hips up in the air because then you're flexing your back, and you don't want to be sagging because you're pinching in the back. You want to stay nice and straight. Same with a side plank. You don't want to be up, you don't want to be down. The weighted carries are phenomenal. So let's say we're walking, you got a big weight right here, and you have to, this whole side is flexed, otherwise the weight just pulls you over. So if you stand nice and tall and just walk, it's phenomenal for your torso. So weighted carries, planks, the ab wheel's phenomenal. The stir the pot exercise we do on a ball. So basically, any exercise where you really activate your torso. Another thing you guys don't realize is anytime we do a one-arm swing or a one-arm press, your entire torso is activated and getting stronger, otherwise you fall over. Burpees, if you've ever done a lot of burpees, it's a ton of core work. Yeah, the one time we had to do, we did the burpee mile. The sorest muscle on my body was my abs. So I hope that makes sense. Trust me on this. Any of the little, the crunchies or sit-ups or the stuff you see, it's a bad idea for 95% of people. If you're an MMA fighter and you have to fight off your back, well then you probably want to do some ab work, some crunchies. What else was I going to say? I think that covers most of it, and I hope you understand, to address two things. Why we don't do sit-ups, why we don't do crunchies, and when people ask to do more core work, you don't realize it, but we're doing it all the time. All right? If you have any questions, let me know. I'll answer for you.